Hey, how about that game last night? We're going to talk about it and a lot more here on Locked On NFL Scouting.
You are Locked On NFL Scouting with the Draft Dudes, your daily podcast for NFL and college football scouting. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's better than this? It's guys being dudes here on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. We're the Draft Dudes. I'm Joe Marino from Locked On Bills. He's Kyle Crabbs from Locked On Dolphins, and we are your NFL experts here with you daily to talk team building across the league on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast with the Draft Dudes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Want to issue a big thank you, shout out, and welcome to our everydayers. Those of you who never miss a single episode, we appreciate y'all being here very, very much. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you're going to get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app.
Joe, we are going to talk about the most exciting thing that happened in the NFL last night, which was Cam Scatterbo getting into a scuff on Monday Night Raw, obviously.
Oh, boy.
Not a wrestling consumer, but saw it on the timeline, and I said, yeah, that about checks out for Cam Scatterbo.
I didn't see this, but
first row.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Verbal altercation with a performer.
Do the rushing yards count for the Brandon Jacobs total he was supposed to get this year?
Stop. Don't do it. It was funny. I saw it, and then I looked at the replies, and some random guy on Twitter said, I give Scatterbo at least a 60% chance of believing this is for real.
Nice way to work it
in.
I
did there?
I do. Kyle Crabbs coming up in Bobby Babbitt's media availability as the random person from Twitter.
A random guy on Twitter said, yeah. So Bobby Babbage knows me as that random guy on Twitter.
I think he probably thinks about you a lot still.
Think so?
Over the last 24 hours,
I hope so.
Boy, people
like
probably have no idea what we're talking about.
So I had a Cole Bishop woke up 3 weeks ago and decided I'm an all-pro now tweet, and Bills Mafia found it, and I'm sure I got a lot of follows off of it. I'm sure they're going to be very disappointed when they find out and read more than just that one tweet that I'm not a Bills guy. I'm the opposite of a Bills guy. So I expect the follower count to start to dip back down again once the posts keep coming. But then it got referenced by somebody in the media scrum at Bobby Babbitt's press conference. So now I'm on the beat for two teams.
That's amazing. All right. So YouTube TV and Disney get it worked out.
And this is the game we get.
I could have watched Monday Night Football the last 2 weeks. It's back for Raiders and Cowboys, and boy, they should have taken another week. Save me the time. 33-16, Dallas smokes them. The story here is that the Raiders are not a serious operation. I understand it's year one of a new regime, but it's hard.
It's year one of the new regime with the coach that's the oldest coach in the league.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's concerning. Yeah. What are we excited about with the Raiders? This is going to be tough to do the Levy Grail.
We'll get it done. We've had worse situations than Las Vegas to do this year to do Levy Grails with. But I think the concern is what personnel moves that the Raiders made this year do you look at and say, yeah, that worked out?
Boy, that's tough, man.
Like guys that they let walk, guys that they replace guys with. Maybe the corner situation where they bring in Eric Stokes. We considering that a success? It's just the whole personnel shift. I don't look at any of the new names, and that's the concerning part, especially with a marquee pick like the one that they had in Ashton Jeanty. And I know that's what we're intending to talk about with the Raiders. And tip of the cap to the Cowboys, like, okay, you won 33-16, right? Like you sat your
Quinn Williams got a sack and a half.
Disciplinary reasons in the first possession of the game and all that. Okay, check the box for Dallas. I mean, Las Vegas uses top 10 draft pick on Ashton Jeanty, and this team has not been able. First of all, they rushed for 27 yards against Dallas. And I know Jerry was talking a whole lot about stopping the run this season.
That's not their lowest rushing total of the season, though. Keep that in mind.
I'm aware. Yeah. And Dallas had given up triple-digit yards rushing to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight teams, and that included 164, 144, 216, and 179 in that stretch. So Raiders were a team last year, you felt like they had a good nucleus of an offensive line.
Yep.
They bring in Chip Kelly, who knows how to draw up run schemes and run the ball. They draft Ashton Jeanty, and they can't run the ball. It's really frustrating, and it's the victory lap for those who need or feel really strongly about whether or not you should draft a running back at a certain stage of the draft. This is going to be Exhibit A, even if Jeanty works out long term, right? Like your expectation with running backs and the shelf life of running backs and the workload that running backs have, and then the debate on whether or not you pay them. Your expectation is, hey, that rookie contract window is where you get optimal value for running back because you're not worried about the workload and the wear and the tear and the depreciation of the skill set. You don't have to worry about paying them. And this is year one of Ashton Jeanty. And this is not just Ashton Jeanty going from Boise State to the NFL, right? I think there was some concern about that with what he looked like against Penn State. I'm not going to put this on Ashton Jeanty. This is just an offense that feels, is it fair to call it directionless? We bring in Geno to run the ball, but we don't have receivers, or we bring in Geno to reinvigorate the passing game, but we don't have receivers the way that we need them to. And we had an offensive line, and our offensive coordinator's a run guy, but we can't run the ball. It's a mess.
Ashton Jeanty, 178 touches, 4 yards per touch. It might be one of those Peyton Barber
Barber watch.
You were on Peyton Barber watch with Ashton Jeanty.
He's going to get the touches. And here's the thing. Nobody else on this offense has more than 44 touches.
Yeah.
Nobody.
For those unfamiliar, we have something coined the Peyton Barber line, where if you get 250 touches or more as a running back, but average 4 yards or less per touch, you're in very exclusive company. That's very hard to be in. And Peyton Barber sparked this, and we've had a few people make it along the way, and Ashton Jeanty is officially on Peyton Barber watch. But a lot of concerns.
The legendary 254 touch, 963 yard from scrimmage season in 2018.
Yeah,
Peyton Barber. It's the baseball Mendoza line batting 200.
Yeah,
it's the running back version of that.
Per this podcast.
All
right, so we're concerned about the direction of the Raiders. They got a lot of work to do. And you know who else has a lot of work to do? The Atlanta Falcons, who, that's not going well there either. We'll talk about that here next, folks. Be sure to stick with us. The NBA season is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. And, of course, we've got the NBA happening. We've got NHL. You feel like someone's going to score a goal? Go ahead and get in on the action. How about NFL prop bets? They're super fun. Taking a look at, we think a guy's going to get more or less on certain props. It's always fun to have that action and then enjoy the game with even more excitement. So check it out. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
All right. The Atlanta Falcons have lost their second-year starting quarterback for the season.
Yep.
Which is his 5th season-ending injury in the last 8 years, going back to college.
Yep.
Drake London set to miss time with a knee injury. What else?
Well, they've lost their 5th game in a row, too.
Yeah.
But, Kyle, it's okay. They've got a $40 million a year backup quarterback that they can just put out there, and they're fine, right?
So I have some thoughts on the Kirk situation, right? Who signed a 4-year, $180 million contract to play in Atlanta in 2023, and they got less than a season's for worth of starts and drafted a top 12 quarterback after signing that contract. And then they choose to hold on to him and allow an additional $10 million in 2026 compensation guarantee fully when they kept him after the first season. Here's your chance to get something out of this situation if you're the Atlanta Falcons. So, okay, not the situation you were hoping to find the Kirk Cousins call to the bullpen, but now that it's here, Kirk's got compensation. He's got $45 million in compensation scheduled for 2026. Spoiler alert. Nobody's going to pay 45, right?
Right.
But let me ask you this. If Kirk plays well have they played 10 or 11 games? I don't have
10. They're 3-7, 10 games.
So if Kirk plays well for the last 7 games and you pay the $10 million roster bonus, would somebody trade for him to pay him 35?
Depends on how he looks.
Right. So this is your chance, Atlanta. We got told in the summertime that we were dumb because the Falcons were just waiting for somebody to get hurt and they were going to trade Kirk Cousins to that team. How many starting quarterbacks have missed a game?
Oh, yeah.
A lot, right? And you know who didn't trade for Kirk Cousins?
Nobody. Yeah.
Right? So now you're already on the hook for $10 million next season in the form of a fully guaranteed roster bonus. If I'm Atlanta, I'm hoping Kirk plays well enough that I can pay that bonus, knock down the compensation to $35 million, because that would be, it's about 15th in the league in cash scheduled for next year. It might get lower than that, depending, like if Fernando Mendoza goes first overall, right? He's going to get a lump sum signing bonus as his rookie contract that would put him above that in cash received. You can get a middle of the pack 1-year salary, non-guaranteed with no strings attached, if Kirk agrees to go there, because he's got a no trade clause, by the way, in that contract. That's what Atlanta has to hope happens here.
I think that's a good idea for the path forward. It doesn't change that we have a $40 million a year quarterback and a top 10 pick and don't have a quarterback. I think there's a conversation to be had about
it like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's nothing exciting about Penix. There's nothing exciting about him. He's athletic, but doesn't use it. He's got a goofy throwing motion, so it really doesn't matter that he's got a big arm. He's risk averse. His accuracy sucks down the field beyond 10 yards. Like, he's just not a good player. He limits that football team. And I think there's some structural issues with how they call their offense. I think Zach Robinson's a little over his head right now. But I just, to have that level of investment in the quarterback position and not feel like you're in a position to have a quarterback is massively disappointing. I think Terry Fontenot's done a horrible job as a general manager of this football team. Horrible. They're not even going to have their first round pick next year. So that's going to go to the Rams because they have James Pierce. Now, here's the good news with Atlanta. Kyle, do you know where they rank in sacks right now in the NFL? Number 2. Yeah, number 2. They got 34 sacks. So congratulations. You're no longer going to be.
They've had like any of the last 5 years.
So, yeah.
Already?
I mean, you got 2 first round picks invested in it. And I mean, this year, there's obviously a lot more collectively. So congratulations. You blitz the most in the league. You have the most sacks, but you don't have a quarterback. You got the smallest front in the league. You're 3-7. You've lost 5 in a row. And you're falling behind the Panthers. So I'm not excited about the Falcons. And I think this has been a massive fumble by Terry Fontenot. And look, Arthur Blank's been really loyal, I think, to GMs and head coaches. You know, I don't know how much longer I could put up with the miscalculations of Terry Fontenot for them to be no closer on their biggest issues. Like, it was really hard to draft Drake London and Bijan Robinson. That wasn't hard. And Matthew Bergeron's a good pick, but there's not much to show for the direction of this team in a division that's been ripe for someone to come and challenge Tampa.
Are we going to do the thing? Falcons draft history under Fotenot. Can you confirm what year he took the position? So I know how far back to go back. We'll start with the first year. Was it 19?
Terry Fontenot became the general manager of the Falcons in 2021.
2021. Okay, so Kyle Pitts, 4th overall. Richie Grant, 40th overall.
Can we stop there? Kyle Pitts, 4th overall over Jamar Chase, over Penny Sewell, over Jalen Waddle.
Micah Parsons. Devonta Smith.
That's a horrible pick.
Generational player.
That's a horrible pick.
Richie Grant.
That's like in the 30s, wasn't that in the 30s?
40, number 40 overall. Jalen Mayfield at 68.
Boy, he sucked, huh?
Yeah.
He was like one of the worst players you've ever seen play guard in the league.
Yeah, way over his head.
Oh, man, yeah.
Darren Hall, 108.
Wait, Richie, they paid Jesse Bates and Xavier Watts. That didn't work.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Darren Hall are 108, and then Drew Dahlman and Taquan Graham at 114 and 148.
Nice job.
Adekombo Ogundeji at 182. Avery Williams at 183. Frank Darby at 187. Remember Frank Darby?
Yeah, Chris Schubert. Let's go. What is it? The ASU forks up. What is the thing
Forks
you do?
up.
Yeah, forks up.
Then it was Drake London, Arnold Ebiketie, Troy Anderson, Desmond Ritter, D'Angelo Malone in the top 100 in 2022.
None of that's good.
Tyler Algier, 151.
There you go.
Justin Schaefer and John Fitzpatrick in the 6th round that year. The 2023 class is Bijan Robinson at 8. Matthew Bergeron at 38.
Nice.
Zach Harrison at 75. Clark Phillips, DeMarco Helms, Jovan Wynn, the rest of that draft class.
Yeah, they got a couple of nice, rotational defensive pieces there in Zach Harrison and Clark Phillips,
Michael Penix at 8.
I can't do this. This is terrible.
Rook Ororhorho at 35.
Stinks.
Oh, come on. He's you knew he's a young player.
I know.
I'm not giving up on Rook just yet.
All right.
Braylon Trice, I might be ready to hit send.
Yeah, I think he's cooked.
He has not played a game.
This is horrible general managing, dude.
Brandon Dorlus, 109. JD Bertrand, 143. Jace McClellan, Casey Washington, Zion Logue, and then this year, Jalen Walker, James Pierce, Xavier Watts, Billy Bowman, Zach Nelson.
Hey, Xavier Watts is good.
So is Jalen Walker.
Yeah. Billy Bowman still can't tackle.
That was the book coming out. So
that's
the entirety of drafting in the Terry Fontenot era in Atlanta. And then Kirk Cousins has received $90 million thus far, with an additional $10 million guarantee. He's going to get $100 million from Atlanta for 2 seasons of play. And he currently has, I think, 18 touchdown passes to 16 interceptions in 15 starts in Atlanta. Yeah, 18 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, passer rating of 87. Adjusted net yards per attempt under 6.
They've had 3 close losses recently, though. I mean, they lost by the Patriots by 1 and then 2 overtime losses against the Colts and Panthers, both teams with winning records.
Hey, you know what? They get smoked by the Dolphins.
I can't say anything. This team beat the Bills by 2 scores, man.
It's a weird game. It's a weird game.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Not looking good for Atlanta.
I would not be married to retaining anything in the organization. I don't think Raheem Morris is the root of any of your problems. I think your offensive coordinator needs to be improved. He should have connections to have some options to do that. And I would make a general manager change. And if the general manager comes in and decides, hey, I want a new head coach in here, I want to have my imprint on the team.
Okay.
Great. But congrats. Now Michael Penix is the ultimate lame duck quarterback, right? Because that will be
no
season injury, and I didn't pick him. Bad place to be.
That's tough. Okay, more stuff to get to, including the Jets. They're making a shift. We'll talk about that here next, folks. Be sure to stick with us.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends over there at Peloton. Look, folks, it's time to break through the busiest time of the year with a brand new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus that's powered by Peloton IQ. It's Peloton's most elevated technology and equipment yet that gives you real-time guidance, and it gives you endless ways to move, whether you want to work out by yourself or if you want to work out with your favorite instructor, like my personal favorite, Alex Toussaint. He always gets me fired up to tackle the day. And the thing I like about Peloton, it helps me achieve more in less times. They have features that help you plan, stay motivated, track your progress, and Peloton IQ also provides personalized workout plans and recommendations. That's something that I use right now during the busiest time of the year covering the NFL. They plan my workouts for me based on my mood, my vibe, and also my favorite instructors. So make sure you check it out and use it because it also helps you correct your form in real time and it maximizes your reps. It counts your reps so that you can do it smarter, safer, and more efficient. Let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
Kyle, how do you think Aaron Glenn is handling the news that Diana Rossini reported that they're making a change at quarterback?
Assume Aaron's glad he doesn't have to make an announcement, right? It's been the whole thing is our guys know I'm not going to tell you.
Well, and then last week when Rich Cimini reported some injury information and then he was asked about it in the press conference and Aaron Glenn says, well, just ask Rich. He's got all the information. If you have any questions, just ask Rich.
He wasn't there that day, though. They couldn't ask Rich because he wasn't there.
The goofy on Aaron Glenn is growing significantly.
I don't understand it. Like I've been very ready to buy into like training the media.
Yeah.
The New York media. This is our way of doing things. Accountability with the players. And okay, no, if you're a bottom of the roster player and we make mistakes, like there's going to be accountability for it. But it's just gone so far, so fast.
Yeah.
And now on top of it, right, like the trades of Quinnen and Sauce. So now like your talent floor is lower. And this is going on. It's not going to get better, right? It's going to get worse before it gets better. As far as the play on the field. Ergo, if this is how you're acting now, how are you going to act in 2 months when we're at the end of the regular season? Or how does it go if you're 0-3 next year with a bunch of young players playing?
Yeah. It's a tough situation. I think it's the wrong messaging for the media at the wrong time. And I can, on one hand, kind of appreciate some of his demeanor, but it's just not, this isn't it. This isn't the time to do it, man. You haven't proven anything. You've proven to be a 2-8 football coach. So you've proven so far. Not that expectations were high, but you're certainly carrying a big stick. And I think that's maybe okay for the players, but I don't know if I'd be treating the media like they're players like that. Anyways, they're going to Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. Justin Fields has been benched. I think anyone with two eyes can see the struggles that Justin Fields has had on the field. They gave him a 2-year, $40 million contract. What's the path forward here? The Jets, are they the type of team that you look at and say, all right, figure out which one of these quarterbacks we like in the draft? Is this a reclamation team? How do they get this right? Because nothing's going to matter until they get this right.
Well, I think they've got one of two options, right? They are going to be in a position to, if we get two quarterbacks end up being kind of top of the first round caliber, whether it's Mendoza and Ty Simpson or sounds like Lenore Sellers and Dante Moore are leaning into coming back to school for another year, which those would be the other two that I would kind of have in that conversation if they came out. They could play the long game and sign a veteran. They could trade for a veteran and try to invest all their picks this year in who they believe to be blue chip players with all their top draft picks and see if they hit at quarterback with somebody else because they'll be able to accommodate the cap. And if not, then you can draft somebody in 27. I think that might be an interesting way to go, right? It's that theory of, can you catch lightning in a bottle and skip the line? Because the line of teams that are lining up to acquire a quarterback, it's getting longer again, right? Like
sure is. Yeah.
We had all these young guys that came into the league and everybody kind of felt like, hey, there's only a handful of spots. Was it last offseason or the offseason before where we were looking at like shuffling quarterbacks and we're like, there's really not that many that you would perceive to be vacancies, right? It was 2 off seasons ago.
Yeah, it was fairly recently where you're just like, yeah, these are kind of spoken for.
It's not the case this year. I mean, there's close to probably double-digit teams that you could look at and be like, yeah, I get it if you go a different direction at quarterback.
I'm resisting the urgency to do the thing.
Don't.
Maybe we should do that for tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, we should do that tomorrow. Do the thing. How long? The line for teams that are looking for a new 2026 starter.
Mm-hmm. Or new quarterback of the future, right? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
So
Raiders would be a team like that. Like whatever, you got Geno Smith, but that's not your guy.
Geno Smith's under contract, but
that's not your guy. Geno Smith, if you like some quarterback next year in the draft, you're
just take him. Yeah, you should take him. But there's probably double-digit teams that fall in that very same category. So the Jets, because you've already done the hard thing, you've already acquired the surplus draft capital, and not just in 2026.
Yeah.
Because you have the cap situation that can handle it, because you just offloaded 2 of your biggest contracts. Because you have surplus draft capital in 2026, do you love one of these quarterbacks? If you do, I think you draft him. But if you don't, I don't think it would be the worst thing to try to skip the line and say, hey, can we take one man's trash is another man's treasure? This situation's not right for this player anymore. Is he the right situation for us with what we want to be? And then we can use all our picks on the rest of the roster.
Are you trying to sell Kyler Murray to the Jets?
No, I'm not. I don't think Kyler Murray is an attractive quarterback option for anybody.
Well, who is this play? Is it Mac Jones? Who is this
I don't have it off the top. I don't have it off the top of my head. But I'm saying that's the thought process I would have if I'm the New York Jets.
Yeah, things change fast. I'd be curious to see how that sorts itself out. But you just did the Justin Fields thing. I don't think you could be the Trey Lance team or the Anthony Richardson team.
Oh, yeah, you got to go for a different archetype of quarterback.
You know what I mean? So are you the Mac Jones or the Kenny Pickett team? I don't know. We could sort that out tomorrow in addition to doing the thing, identifying those spots. We stumbled into a good one. I'm excited for it.
That's great. So we'll do that tomorrow. Kyle Crabbs, Joe Marino. Appreciate you guys checking out Locked On NFL Scouting. Come back and see us again. We'll talk to you all again soon. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.